Since this last Wednesday, the Pirate Week has been in full go, and with this we got the new dynamic event, which is called the Blockade Runner. And as the name states it, the idea is that one of the stations, orbiting stations of one of the major planets, is having a blockade. And we need to deliver supplies, and of course these supplies first need to be liberated from one of the several possible hostile locations which is in the same planet system. So the big question first, is this event worth doing? Well, sadly, the payout isn't great and the time consumption is quite heavy. Bonus payment isn't much and not all ships will have cargo. So this can be very time consuming if you're playing alone or with a small crew. I pretty much played this event from the start to the end in 3 hours. The crew I joined was the only one actively trying to deliver this cargo. Eventually, some extra players joined, some extra crews ended up helping, but if this is done even by 4 players in, let's say, 2 different groups, 2 separate locations, this will take quite a while, depending on if you actually can get some cargo or not. Yes, possibly this can be a bug that every ship does not have cargo, but it was very time consuming considering that the payout wasn't great. That being said, it felt quite important doing this event in a group, organizing, coordinating and trying to make the best of it. Of course you needed a rather big ship, because there were plenty of 32 or 24 cargo containers. These aren't really movable with small multi-tools, and well, you cannot even store it in a ship like Caterpillar. Even though we tried and we managed to store them, it was not an ideal solution. Eventually we needed to swap, of course, to something more accommodating to bigger cargo containers like C2. And of course that paid off, since managing the cargo was a lot simpler when you actually can accommodate its storage. So just like the rest of 3.24, everything here was considering cargo and its management once again. The enemy ships trying to blockade our access to deliveries or freight elevators were quite heavy at times, but mostly quite manageable with big ships. So this dynamic event was pretty much in the spirits of cargo. There were actually quite many problems with this event and grouping up, since Star Citizen has often plenty of bugs. And same was the case here. We couldn't see our group members, we couldn't see mission markers and things of that nature. But we still could manage to do this mission, although be it through quite a few unpleasantries like finding plenty of ships with no cargo perhaps bugging out, some containers not working because they were possibly damaged, and the mission markers turning on and off when quantum traveling or sitting in a ship. All of this could add up to a pretty unpleasant experience, but even in a team it was kind of okay to deal with these problems. So eventually all of this got done and the payout was roughly 50,000. Apparently this can vary depending on the number of hostiles destroyed, cargo delivered and other things, and the bonus payment didn't really tick in that much. As often as I monitored it, once it reached 100%, I got paid around 1,000 credits. So that's a pretty insignificant amount. As the event itself goes, of course it was rather buggy and could be very unpleasant to do if you are a new player or if you were playing alone, but once again the game is not ready and we are just pretty much testing it. Eventually, if it gets a lot of fixes, gets balanced rewards, it could be something really interesting, unique and fun to do. Personally, I think there isn't just enough initiative for players to partake in it, so it felt like there was too much cargo required to complete this event, since there weren't that many players partaking in it, because of course the rewards weren't that great. So it seems balancing the rewards and fixing the game mode itself is a great way to go to improve upon this. Still, I had quite a bit of fun, even though with the bugs and problems and the crappy rewards, I felt it was quite important that I was part of a crew, even if I was a gunner, or if I was a pilot or just a grunt lifting boxes. Perhaps it was just the beauty of teamwork for this event. If you missed this event, well, you didn't really miss that much, because it wasn't anything too special. It was basically cargo delivery missions, with a little bit of combat involved, and possibly quite a bit of teamwork to have the best experience. Anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.